The morning shows who is in charge. When the eyes open and the body feels heavy, that moment decides more than most people realize. This is not about energy drinks or loud alarms. This is about the quiet decision made before the feet touch the floor. A day begins the same way a life moves forward, through small choices that stack up. The mind often tries to negotiate at this hour. It brings up sleep, comfort, yesterday's problems, or tomorrow's worries. None of those deserve attention right now. The morning belongs to direction, not debate. When the day starts with a firm inner voice that says, excuses are done, something changes. The shoulders feel stronger, the breathing becomes deeper, and the mind feels clearer. This is not hype. This is a calm decision that shapes behavior. Many people wait for motivation to appear before they act. That habit keeps them stuck. Motivation follows action, not the other way around. The morning is the best time to practice this truth. The room may be quiet, the light may be low, and the world may still be asleep, but this is when self-respect is built. No one is watching, no praise is coming. That is exactly why it works. The mind learns who it can trust. When a person keeps promises to themselves early in the day, confidence grows without noise. The heart feels steady instead of rushed. The body starts moving with purpose instead of resistance. A no excuses mindset does not shout, it does not argue, it simply moves forward. It understands that waiting for perfect conditions is a habit that delays growth. The morning teaches discipline in a gentle but firm way. The alarm goes off, the decision is made. The feet touch the floor. That simple sequence trains the mind to follow through later when challenges are bigger. When this becomes a daily practice, life begins to feel more organized. Stress reduces because fewer decisions are left undone. Clarity increases because priorities are handled early. The truth is simple. Every excuse sounds reasonable in the moment. Tiredness feels real. Lack of time feels real. Doubt feels real. None of those feelings build the future. The morning is not the time to analyze feelings. It is the time to act with intention. Action quiets unnecessary thoughts. Movement brings focus. The body warms up, the mind sharpens, and the day gains momentum. This is how control is reclaimed. People often think success requires dramatic change. It does not. It requires daily agreement between intention and behavior. The morning is the first test of that agreement. When excuses are removed from the start, the rest of the day becomes easier to manage. Conversations improve because confidence is present. Work improves because focus is stronger. Decisions improve because the mind is already trained to choose progress over comfort. There is also an emotional shift that happens when the morning is owned. A quiet pride settles in. It is not loud or arrogant, it is calm and steady. This feeling carries through the day. The day. Even when problems appear, the mind remembers that the day already began with strength. That memory matters. It reduces panic and increases patience. It allows better responses instead of rushed reactions. A no excuses mindset also changes how time is viewed. The morning stops feeling rushed and starts feeling intentional. Each minute has a role. This does not mean filling every second with activity. It means respecting the start of the day enough to guide it. Silence becomes useful. Stillness becomes powerful. The mind organizes itself when given space and direction. This mindset is not about being harsh or rigid. It is about being honest. Honesty means admitting that comfort has been given too much control in the past. It means choosing growth even when it feels inconvenient. The morning is the training ground for this honesty. Each day offers another chance to practice. Over time, the results become visible. Energy levels stabilize. Mood improves. Confidence strengthens. People begin to trust themselves more. That trust is the foundation of leadership influence, and personal success. It all starts with a simple decision made early in the day. The morning does not care about past failures. It does not judge yesterday. It only asks for presence and commitment. When excuses are removed, opportunity has room to appear. This is not theory. This is lived experience. The days that begin with clarity tend to end with satisfaction. When the morning becomes a place of discipline, life becomes more predictable in a good way. Progress becomes steady. Goals stop feeling distant. The mind becomes an ally instead of an obstacle. All of this grows from one habit practiced daily. The world rewards those who show up prepared. Preparation begins before the noise of the day. It begins in quiet moments when the decision to move forward is made without argument. This is the power of waking up with a no excuses mindset. Soak. It shapes the day, strengthens the mind, and builds a future that feels earned. Before the day places its demands on your time, responsibility must already be claimed. Not later, not after the first problem appears, not after someone disappoints you. Responsibility is not something to pick up when convenient. It is a position taken early, quietly, and fully. The moment the morning begins, ownership must already be decided. Life responds differently to people who stop blaming and start leading themselves. This is not about guilt or pressure. This is about power. The person who owns the day controls the direction of it. The person who avoids responsibility spends the day reacting. Responsibility starts inside the mind. It sounds like a calm agreement that says, "This day belongs to me. Every choice made today is mine. Every result that comes from those choices is also mine." That thought may feel heavy at first, but it is actually freeing. Blame is exhausting. Complaints drain energy. Excuses steal focus. Responsibility does the opposite. It clears the mental space. It sharpens attention. It replaces confusion with direction. Many people wait for the day to explain itself to them. They wait to see how they feel. They wait to see what others do. They wait for permission, approval, or ideal conditions. That habit turns strong people into followers of circumstances. Taking responsibility before the day begins ends that habit. It puts the individual back in the driver's seat. When responsibility is claimed early, decisions feel cleaner. There is less second guessing and more forward motion. The morning is the best time for this decision because the mind is still fresh. The noise of the world has not yet crowded the thoughts. This is when honesty is easiest. Responsibility does not mean perfection. It means commitment. It means understanding that mistakes may happen, but avoidance is no longer an option. Growth begins the moment excuses end. Responsibility also changes how challenges are seen. Problems stop feeling personal attacks and start feeling situations to handle. This shift reduces emotional weight. It keeps the mind steady instead of reactive. When responsibility is taken early, the day unfolds with more patience. Conversations improve because defensiveness fades. Right. Work improves because there is a physical feeling that comes with responsibility. The posture straightens. Breathing becomes deeper. The body responds to clarity. This is not imagination. When the mind decides firmly, the body follows. Energy moves differently. Actions feel more intentional. Even simple tasks feel meaningful because they are chosen, not forced. Taking responsibility also builds self-respect. Each time a person owns their actions, trust with themselves increases. This trust becomes a quiet confidence that does not depend on external praise. It is internal and stable. That kind of confidence carries through difficult moments. It allows calm thinking when others panic. Steady action when others hesitate. Responsibility removes the habit of waiting for motivation, waiting for mood, waiting for others. The day moves forward whether a person is ready or not. Taking responsibility means deciding to be ready anyway. This decision does not require excitement. It requires commitment. The morning is not about feeling good. It is about choosing well. Many people misunderstand responsibility and think it means carrying the weight of the entire world. It does not. It means handling what is within reach today. It means focusing on controllable actions instead of uncontrollable outcomes. This approach reduces stress. It simplifies life. It creates progress through consistency rather than pressure. Responsibility also brings clarity to priorities. When ownership is taken, distractions lose power. Time is treated with more respect. Tasks are chosen intentionally instead of impulsively. This creates momentum. Momentum creates confidence. Confidence strengthens discipline. This cycle begins with one decision made early in the day. The morning is also the time to release blame. Blame ties the mind to the past. Responsibility brings the mind into the present. The present is where action lives. This shift is subtle but powerful. It allows learning instead of regret. It allows adjustment instead of avoidance. Growth becomes possible because attention is focused on what can be done now. People who take responsibility early tend to experience fewer emotional swings throughout the day. Their mood is not controlled by minor setbacks. Their energy is not drained by small inconveniences. They understand that challenges are part of the process, not signs of failure. This understanding creates emotional stability, which is rare and valuable. Responsibility also improves relationships. When a person owns their actions, communication becomes clearer. Expectations are managed better. Respect grows naturally. Others sense reliability and respond differently. Opportunities appear more often because trust attracts trust. This practice does not require long speeches or dramatic rituals. It requires a quiet internal agreement made each morning. A simple decision to own the day fully. That decision influences every action that follows. It shapes behavior without force. It guides choices without pressure. The day does not need perfection. It needs leadership. Leadership begins with self. Responsibility is the foundation of that leadership. When taken early, it removes confusion and replaces it with direction. It turns ordinary days into building blocks for something meaningful. Each morning offers a clean start. Taking responsibility at that moment sets the tone for everything that follows. It creates order where there could be chaos. It builds strength where there could be hesitation. This is how control is reclaimed and progress becomes steady. The day does not move in a random direction unless the mind allows it to. Before the noise begins, before messages arrive, before other people start placing their needs on your time, the direction of the next 24 hours must already be decided. A day without intention is easily stolen. A day with intention moves with purpose even when things go off plan. Setting clear intentions early is not about writing long plans or creating pressure. It is about deciding how you will show up, how you will act, and what will matter most. The morning is when the mind is most open to guidance. It has not yet been pulled in 10 directions. This is the moment to choose focus. Intention works like a filter. It helps the mind recognize what deserves attention and what does not. Without this filter, the day fills up with distractions that feel urgent but lead nowhere. With intention, even busy days feel organized because actions are connected to purpose. Clear intention begins with honesty. Honesty about where you are and where you want to move. This does not require perfection or certainty. It requires clarity. Clarity reduces anxiety. When the mind knows what matters today, it stops chasing everything else. Energy is preserved. Focus improves. The body responds with steadiness instead of tension. Intention is not about controlling every outcome. It is about controlling effort and attitude. The next 24 hours will include surprises. Some will be pleasant, some will test patience. Intention prepares the mind to respond instead of react. When a person decides in advance to stay disciplined, calm, and focused, challenges lose their ability to derail progress. There is a quiet strength in knowing what you want from the day. It changes how time feels. Minutes stop slipping away unnoticed. Each block of time gains meaning. Even rest becomes intentional instead of accidental. This balance reduces burnout. It allows consistent effort without exhaustion. Setting intention also strengthens decision-making. Throughout the day, choices appear constantly: what to focus on, what to delay, what to ignore. Without intention, these decisions drain mental energy. With intention, many decisions are already made. The mind moves smoothly because direction is clear. Emotionally, intention creates stability. Mood becomes less dependent on circumstances. When the day has direction, setbacks feel temporary rather than overwhelming. The mind remembers the larger purpose behind each action. This perspective prevents small problems from becoming emotional burdens. Intention also improves self-respect. Each time actions align with stated intention, trust in oneself grows. This trust is powerful. It builds confidence that does not rely on external approval. It creates an inner calm that others notice. People are naturally drawn to those who move with clarity. This practice does not require complex routines. It requires a few quiet moments of thought, a simple decision about what matters most today. It could be progress on a goal. It could be showing patience. It could be maintaining discipline. The specific intention matters less than the act of choosing one. The mind needs direction the same way the body needs balance. Without it, effort is wasted. With it, progress becomes efficient. Intention turns ordinary actions into meaningful steps. Even small efforts feel important when they serve a clear purpose. There is also freedom in intention. It removes the pressure to do everything. When the day has focus, unnecessary tasks lose their appeal. Time is no longer spent proving worth through busyness. Instead, time is invested where it matters most. Setting intention early also prepares the mind for discipline later. When fatigue appears, intention reminds you why the effort began. This reminder is often enough to keep moving forward. Discipline becomes easier when purpose is clear. The next 24 hours will pass whether they are guided or not. Setting intention ensures they are not wasted. It gives shape to the day. It gives meaning to effort. It turns time into an ally rather than an enemy. This practice, repeated daily, creates momentum. Momentum builds confidence. Confidence strengthens discipline. Over time, life begins to feel more aligned. It feels steady instead of forced. The morning offers a quiet opportunity to decide the direction of the day. Taking that opportunity seriously changes everything that follows. When intention is clear, action becomes focused, and the day moves with purpose instead of pressure. There is always one task we avoid, the one that feels uncomfortable, heavy, or demanding. It sits in the corner of our mind, quietly reminding us of what we know must be done, but keeps getting delayed. That avoidance creates stress, drains energy, and slows progress. The hardest part is not the task itself, it's the hesitation before action. The mind wants comfort, wants delay, wants excuses. But each morning is a chance to confront that resistance directly. When the day begins by tackling what has been avoided, something remarkable happens. The weight lifts, confidence rises, and the rest of the day moves differently because momentum has been created. This is not about doing everything at once or creating unnecessary pressure. It is about choosing the single hard thing that matters most and committing to it fully. That task might be difficult because it requires discipline courage, or facing fear. It might involve a conversation that has been postponed or a step toward a goal that feels risky. Regardless of what it is, completing it early sets the tone for everything that follows. It signals to the mind that delay no longer controls action. Progress is now in charge. Many people underestimate the power of this approach. They spend energy thinking about the task instead of doing it. They convince themselves that waiting for the perfect moment will make it easier. The truth is, the perfect moment rarely arrives. Waiting only increases anxiety and strengthens bad habits. Taking action immediately, especially first thing in the morning, trains the mind to respond with courage instead of hesitation. Each small victory against avoidance builds mental resilience that cannot be purchased or taught elsewhere. The body also responds when action is taken. The heart rate increases slightly, muscles engage, and energy circulates in a focused way. There is a tangible shift that comes from completing something challenging early. Even if the task seems minor, the effect is significant. The mind remembers that it can handle discomfort and still perform. That memory carries throughout the day, influencing every decision and interaction. Emotionally, facing the one hard thing first reduces internal tension. The mind stops circling around unfinished business. Stress levels drop because action replaces worry. Confidence grows not because the task is easy, but because it was completed despite resistance. That confidence becomes a quiet engine that drives future action. The day feels lighter, progress feels visible, and obstacles feel smaller. There is also a sense of independence that develops. Avoidance keeps a person dependent on circumstances, other people, or luck. Taking on the difficult task early proves that control lies within, not outside. This realization shifts perspective. Challenges are no longer threats, but opportunities to act. Responsibility transforms from a heavy burden into a source of power. This is how strong routines and disciplined habits are built over time. Consistency matters more than intensity. Doing the hard thing once is a step forward, but repeating it daily strengthens character. Each morning offers another chance to practice courage, discipline, and persistence. Over weeks and months, these small victories accumulate into major life changes. The mind begins to associate action with results, creating a positive feedback loop. Hesitation fades and progress becomes natural rather than forced. The environment also plays a role. Early in the morning, before distractions appear, the mind can focus fully. This clarity is ideal for addressing challenging tasks. Interruptions are minimal, thinking is sharp, and decision-making is clearer. Using this quiet time to tackle what has been avoided leverages the natural rhythm of the day in your favor. Later, when the world is noisy, energy is already spent on meaningful work rather than postponed tasks. Taking action first thing also improves mental clarity for the rest of the day. Completing a challenging task creates a sense of accomplishment that frees mental space. Thoughts stop circling around obligations or worries. Focus increases for other areas of life. Relationships, work, and personal goals benefit because the mind operates from a state of accomplishment instead of pressure. That clarity is a compounding. Facing the hard thing is not about eliminating discomfort completely. Resistance will appear in different forms throughout life. The practice is about creating a habit of engagement instead of avoidance. Each morning becomes a training ground for persistence, mental toughness, and confidence. The mind learns that discomfort does not need to dictate action. Progress becomes inevitable because action takes precedence over fear. This practice also reinforces discipline indirectly. Action, especially challenging action, requires structure. Completing a difficult task early conditions the body and mind to follow through on other commitments. Routines become stronger, energy is better managed, and focus becomes habitual. Over time, discipline is no longer a choice. It becomes a default state that governs how life unfolds. There is no need for drama or perfection in this process. Success does not require perfection, it requires consistency. Tackling the one hard thing each morning may be simple, but it is powerful. Each completed task strengthens the mind, body, and emotions. Each victory, no matter how small, builds momentum that makes future challenges easier. The day becomes a series of intentional steps rather than reactive moments. Life moves forward in a clear, purposeful way. The hardest thing avoided is often the key to growth. Avoiding it keeps progress slow, energy wasted, and confidence diminished. Facing it first thing transforms struggle into strength. Momentum is gained, mindset is hardened, productivity becomes natural. Each morning is an opportunity to practice this habit. Each day that it is practiced, life shifts further toward achievement, clarity, and control. Action replaces hesitation, results follow, and the habit of excellence is built one decision at a time. Discipline does not happen by chance. Comfort does not create growth. Every day, the body wants to stay still, the mind wants to linger, and the heart often seeks what is easy. That instinct is not a weakness, it is natural. The difference between those who achieve and those who remain stagnant is the ability to act before comfort wins. The moment the morning begins, the decision to prioritize discipline over ease determines the trajectory of the entire day. Comfort is persuasive because it feels good in the moment, but it has no power to create results. Discipline feels hard at first, but it produces results that last far beyond the fleeting satisfaction of ease. The morning is the laboratory where self-control is tested. Skipping a workout, delaying a difficult task, or scrolling mindlessly may seem harmless at first. Each small concession, however, trains the mind to accept weakness. The brain learns that comfort is more important than progress. Acting with discipline instead sends a different signal. The mind learns that effort is non-negotiable, that progress is earned, and that consistency is a principle, not a preference. That learning compounds over time, reshaping behavior in ways that cannot be achieved through motivation alone. Discipline before comfort is not a concept reserved for extreme situations. It is not about heroics or dramatic sacrifices. It is about small decisions, making the bed, completing a difficult email, walking a few extra steps, reading for 30 minutes instead of scrolling. All these actions train the mind to respond to responsibility rather than indulgence. Each action is a statement. Progress matters more than temporary satisfaction. Each morning that this is practiced strengthens the mind's ability to make choices that align with long-term goals instead of short-term desires. The body also responds to discipline. Early mornings are challenging because the natural instinct is to rest. But when discipline guides action, energy moves differently. Focus sharpens, breathing becomes steadier, muscles engage with purpose. The brain releases chemicals that reward persistence, creating a subtle but powerful reinforcement loop. This physiological response strengthens the mind-body connection and trains the nervous system to prefer action over hesitation. Over time, this creates a natural rhythm where discipline becomes easier and comfort becomes less persuasive. There is also an emotional shift that comes from choosing discipline first. The mind experiences quiet pride, a steady confidence that does not rely on external validation. Challenges throughout the day feel smaller because the first victory has already been won. Motivation becomes unnecessary because action has become a habit, a default response. Emotional resilience increases because the mind has learned that discomfort is manageable and that results are built through consistency, not fleeting inspiration. Discipline before comfort also trains patience. The brain begins to understand that progress requires effort over time. Instant gratification loses its grip. Decisions are measured against purpose instead of desire. Each small choice builds mental toughness, teaching the mind that consistent effort yields results. Over time, the ability to delay comfort strengthens focus, reduces stress, and creates clarity in decision-making. This habit influences relationships as well. People notice reliability and consistency. When a person follows through on commitments and chooses action over convenience, trust is built naturally. Others respond with respect and confidence in one's character. Opportunities appear more frequently because discipline generates visible results, and results attract further opportunity. This is how small morning choices ripple outward to affect broader aspects of life. Discipline is also cumulative. Each morning it is practiced, the mind becomes more capable of handling greater responsibility later. Challenges that once felt overwhelming now feel manageable. Priorities become clearer because the brain has been trained to act with purpose. Energy is better managed because mental resistance is reduced. Life becomes less chaotic because the habit of action precedes reaction. The morning decision to commit to discipline over comfort also fosters self-respect. Each time effort is chosen, despite resistance, internal trust strengthens. This trust creates a quiet assurance that cannot be shaken by temporary setbacks. It makes the mind and body work together toward consistent achievement. The habit of self-respect becomes the foundation for all other success because it governs how actions are chosen, not just what outcomes are desired. Discipline before comfort is a daily practice, not a one-time effort. Each morning, the mind is presented with choices, and each choice either reinforces strength or encourages weakness. By making the hard decision early, before the world demands attention, momentum is created. That momentum carries through the day, making additional actions easier, decisions clearer, and focus sharper. This is how ordinary mornings transform into extraordinary days. Ultimately, the difference between those who achieve and those who fall short is determined in these quiet hours. When discipline guides the start of the day, action becomes inevitable. Progress becomes measurable. Confidence becomes tangible. The mind learns that growth is built through consistent, intentional effort rather than fleeting comfort. Comfort is tempting, but discipline produces results that last. Choosing discipline over comfort every morning is not just a habit. It is the foundation upon which all achievement is built. The habit strengthens character, sharpens focus, and sets the stage for a life of purpose, control, and meaningful success. Now, the truth is clear. The mornings are not just a part of the day, they are the foundation of everything you will become. Every choice, every action, every decision that follows depends on how you start. The person who controls the morning controls the day. The person who chooses excuses will spend the day chasing distractions, while the person who rises with purpose sets the pace for progress. It begins with one small act of will, one commitment made quietly before the world stirs. That moment of decision is more powerful than most people realize because it shapes the mindset, the emotions, and the actions for the entire day. Success does not come to those who wait, it comes to those who act. And the earliest opportunity to act is in the first moments after waking. As the day moves forward, the power of that early choice compounds. Each time the hard work is done, each time the task avoided is finally completed, and each time discipline is chosen over comfort, the mind learns a lesson about strength. That lesson cannot be learned from books alone. It cannot be borrowed from someone else's experience, and it cannot be faked. It must be lived. Each morning is a training ground where the mind proves to itself that it is capable. That effort yields results, and that consistency is not just a principle but a habit that can be developed deliberately. Over weeks, months, and years, this repetition builds a foundation of unstoppable momentum. The day does not wait for perfection. It does not wait for the right mood or the ideal circumstance. It moves forward relentlessly, testing patience, endurance, and focus. If you wait for motivation, if you wait for readiness, you will always be behind. But when you rise, when you take responsibility, when you set intentions, when you tackle the hard things, and when you choose discipline over comfort, the day begins with you in control. You create your own energy, your own direction, and your own results. No one else decides the outcome of your life. That power resides in your hands, and it is exercised in those early hours when the mind is clear, when the body is quiet, and when the world has not yet placed demands on your time. Every step forward, every task completed, and every moment of focus strengthens the mind in ways that are invisible at first but undeniable over time. People underestimate the cumulative power of small, deliberate actions. They assume success is sudden or luck-based. The reality is that success is the sum of countless mornings like this, each one built on intention, responsibility, courage, and discipline. Each morning is a brick laid in the foundation of a life that is capable of achievement, control, and fulfillment. Do not underestimate what consistent action can do. The mind has remarkable power to adapt, to grow, and to embrace challenge when it is trained deliberately. Avoidance, excuses, and comfort are all habits that can be replaced with intention, responsibility, and action. This transformation does not happen instantly. It happens one morning at a time. Each morning you rise, you are stronger than yesterday. Each time you choose discipline over comfort, your confidence grows. Each time you take responsibility for your actions before the day begins, your self-respect deepens. And each time you set clear intentions for your day, the mind becomes sharper, focused, and unshakable in the face of distraction or difficulty. When you combine these elements, no excuses, full responsibility, clear intentions, tackling hard tasks, and committing to discipline before comfort, you create unstoppable momentum. This momentum is the secret that so many overlook because it is invisible at first. The results may not appear immediately, but the internal strength is being built with every choice. The mind becomes resilient. The body becomes conditioned. The day begins with purpose instead of reaction. And over time, life transforms quietly but powerfully. Remember that consistency, not brilliance, creates extraordinary results. The person who achieves is not always the smartest or most talented. They are the person who shows up daily, who makes the hard choices, and who refuses to let excuses dictate behavior. The mornings are where this habit is formed. The habit forms character. Character shapes decisions. Decisions determine results. And the results are what define the trajectory of a life. So as each morning arrives, it brings a chance to practice strength, focus, and discipline. It brings a chance to prove to yourself that effort matters more than comfort, that responsibility is more powerful than blame, and that action is more effective than hesitation. The quiet victories of the early hours become the foundation of every larger success to come. They teach the mind that progress is built deliberately, that achievement is earned consistently, and that control is claimed through action, not circumstance. At the end of the day, when the work is done, the tasks are completed, and the challenges have been met, there is a deep satisfaction that cannot be taken away. That satisfaction is not loud or showy. It is calm, steady, and empowering. It comes from knowing that the day was owned, that excuses were ignored, and that the morning decision to act shaped everything that followed. That satisfaction compounds over weeks and months into a life that feels accomplished, intentional, and powerful. The mornings will come whether you are ready or not. The question is, will you greet them with excuses, hesitation, and comfort? Or will you meet them with discipline, focus, and action? Each morning is a chance to decide. Each morning is a step toward a stronger, more capable, and unstoppable version of yourself. Do not waste it. Take it, own it, and watch as the consistency of your mornings turns the rest of your life into something remarkable. Every single day begins this way, and every single day matters. The habit starts now. The momentum starts now. The life you are building starts with the first choice you make before the day even begins.